Hello everybody and welcome to our next episode of this wonderful tutorial series we got going, and today we're going to be talking about Scenic Material. Now, Scenic Material, as you just saw a second ago, is this wonderful detail, gravel and dirt and such that you see all over the racetrack. But before we get on how to make that material itself, we got to see how the base resource is gathered. And for that, we're going to have to head outside. What do you say? We head outside, Uncle Jim?
Base resource. Well,
Yeah.
let me show you what this base resource is, right?
Right.
I mean, if you don't know what we're trying to make out there, all we'll be doing is making it seem like we're making dust. This is the material, those fine stones. Notice that they're all to scale. Mm-hmm. That's what makes this up. If you look closely, you can see different size stone. And each has its own importance, you know, to look like gravel or to look like stone to stop the weeds, or what they call talus that comes off of busted stone. They're all different sizes, and instead of buying it, I can sift it. And I had made the statement that I got all this material out of my backyard and was sort of challenged on that. So today I'm going to show you how I get this material.
It's time to prove it, right?
Yeah. If you can see here, there's different size stones for different reasons, right. Different usage out. And so we got to go outside and do that. I got my grubbies on. It's a dirty job. It's
a hot day. We're gonna go sift some gravel and get this wonderful scenic material.
I found that I got a lot of mulch in it.
Right.
So, and I swore that if I had to do it again, I'd pull it off of a gravel road so I wouldn't have a lot of that natural material.
Right.
So what I did is I went to a gravel road and I got myself a box of gravel. And what we're going to do today is sift this into the right size for 1/32 scale scenery.
I see. Okay.
So in the 20 years that have gone by, I've used different screens, and I put this together, Ryan, thinking that what we could do is sift through this,
right,
and get the big stuff first.
Yeah, get the big chunks out.
Stuff out. So we'll put the big stuff into there. And since we're going to have so much, I'm going to use this basin.
Right.
So whatever doesn't go through, we're going to be breathing some dust here, guys.
It's all right. It's a little hazard. If you're doing this yourself, maybe grab yourself a mask.
Yeah, I think before we quit, I'm going to get a mask for myself.
Yeah, because that gravel dust can be hell on the lungs, that's for sure. But yeah, as you guys can see, you know, you got to go through multiple stages to sift out some of these rocks, and as Uncle Jim had mentioned, if you're taking this out of the backyard, there might be other things too. So if you have a dirt road or a gravel road or path nearby,
lots of mulch. Now these right here, Derek, you might think that this is a waste, but any rock that has a natural break in it like that can be made to look to scale. Something like this is unnatural, or a river washed round stone, you can't use, but you can use these in scenery pretty easily if you set them upright with a crack like that and some plants growing out of it. Works for me.
Yeah.
Actually, my whole track has natural rock.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I spent a whole week making plaster cast rocks, and I ended up going with the real thing.
As you can see, we have this wonderful leftover rock material here.
But I want you to know that's not just leftover. We're going to use that on the racetrack.
Oh, wonderful!
I'll show, especially these broken, jagged ones. Any river washed pieces we don't use.
Right.
But these guys are. I'll show you later.
Yeah, we'll get back to those.
Okay, so we went from this mesh.
Yes.
Which I now can put back on my dehumidifier.
Right.
And I need to go to something coarser than this, and the only thing I could find was this rack right here.
This tool rack that we got.
Let's shovel it in. You got it, Ryan?
Yeah, I got it. I mean, stuff like this in a hobby shop, you know, this sort of gravel and all that must run people a lot of money.
Well, I would imagine in this this bunch of gravel right here, we're probably going to get about $25 or $30 worth of Scenic Material.
Wow. And just by being a little bit creative, going to a dirt road and some mesh sieves.
Yeah, and using my tool cart.
Right, using your tool cart. You guys got
That's
something
all right,
to
it's temporary. All right, let's sift that around a little bit. What a mess. All right, so, okay, we'll come back to that. Ryan, can you lift this out of the way?
Will do.
One of those rocks, don't wrench your back. All right, good. So, we've sifted out that size rock. Now, Ryan, I'm going to pick this up, and you put that underneath here, and I'll dump it in.
All right, so we got this.
No, what we're going to do is dump this into the...
Yes.
Because we need this piece of paper. Ready?
Ready.
Put it down right there. All right.
Very nice.
All right. Step 3. We're going to put this over here like this. Let me use one of these to keep it up.
Prop it up.
Actually, let's prop it up on this side and trap everything.
Right. So we went from that larger mesh to the smaller one, and now we're getting that finer material that we like out of it.
Right.
Look at that. 3 different types of rock already.
Three sizes. Yeah,
three sizes of rock already coming out of just this bucket of gravel that you pulled from the road.
The really good stuff ends up coming out of that stuff in those sieves.
Exactly.
Okay, Ryan, we're going to use the funnel, and we're going to save this stuff into here.
Yes.
So, get the funnel. I think let's see if I can dump this in there. Well, I am going to do this. I'm going to take this off. We're going to save this good stuff.
Right.
This is the magic stuff. It's going in the box.
Going in the box. That's the magic material that we like.
And this guy is going to get dumped into here.
Right. There we go.
And this now can go into here without a funnel.
There we go.
Okay. That can actually be sifted. If we can find something between this and that case, we can get even a better filter between those two.
Right.
I don't know what to use. It'll have to come to me. This is finer.
Yes.
This is a finer mesh. Don't tell Pam that I'm using her waste paper basket. So you take this, and I'll take this.
Right.
I'll get this into here. Let's make it go this way. Nope, let it go this way. We'll put this right here. And we'll start to shovel this good stuff into here.
Look at that.
Now this is the real good stuff.
Yeah, that leftover rock that you have.
Ah! I'm wasting material.
I mean, a lot of folk would like to know how to do this without having to, go to the hobby shop per se and and buy all the gravel. You know, you can do this for a lot cheaper if you sift it yourself. You know.
There's one escapee. So this is the good stuff, guys.
Yes.
So now we get the funnel and a bottle.
Yes.
Because this is keeper stuff.
That's the stuff that
we're going to keep this.
Right.
So go ahead and put the bottle right here. There you go. Let's see if I can do this.
There we go.
Okay, you take that.
Perfect size.
Yeah, that's the good stuff right there. Except for that piece of grass.
Yeah, we don't want that.
You see that? You see how they're all uniform? It begins to look to scale. Now those actually are stones that are about maybe an inch.
Yeah.
Inch and a half. It's coarse gravel. This is coarse gravel.
That'll be your coarse gravel, right?
Yeah, and
bottle that up.
Now these guys right here, I'm going to the box. I'm going to lift it up again.
Put that into the box.
You can sift that into something even better now.
Right.
And this is going to take a little bit longer, so I'm going to get this guy. You see, each time I'm going to a finer screen.
So we can get a little bit more of that fine material out of there.
Yeah, check it out. See, now this right here,
that's real good stuff.
That's 1/32 scale gravel.
Beautiful.
So I'm going to put this somewhere. Let me put that right there. And then we'll put that into a bottle.
Yes. Let's grab that.
Okay.
All right, so here's our bottle. Here's our funnel. Look at that.
So that's good stuff. Where's the other one? Let's compare. Ryan, can you hand that to me? See, one's a little bit finer than the other. And I'll show you later why that's important when we go to put it on the track. So that gets the lid, Ryan. Okay, so now we're going to a finer grit. That would be this guy. And I'm going to do it again.
More material out of it.
Hopefully it holds it. Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, beautiful.
Okay. So this is sand we're going to use.
Yes.
All right. Now we've got this. This is the gold right here. All that work was for this. Minus the piece of blade of grass. That's not the scale. So this is perfect gravel for 1/32 scale. So what we're going to do is put it into a jar. Thank you. Can you hold that funnel in case it flips on us? Thank you. Because this stuff's valuable.
Yeah, we don't want to lose it.
All right. Got this guy. This guy.
And last but not least.
And this guy. Yeah. So those are 3 sizes that we can use. They're worth about $5 each at the hobby shop.
Yeah.
So let's go downstairs and I'll show you where I use this stuff.
All right.
And don't forget those big rocks too.
Yes.
Although they're not as big as what we could use. Which is the finest?
I believe the one you have is the finest one.
All right,
Yes.
so this is the finest. I'll put it into there. This is an example. All right. Is that good, Dirk?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, that is represented here. See, that's that gravel. Now, when that gravel gets glued down with a mixture, a little bit of soap, 50-50 white glue and water, it gets tighter looking. And then we'll give it a wash of 50% black paint, 50% water. Water, and it'll end up looking more realistic. Now, for areas like this, we simply scrape it out to make it look as if tracks have been made. And then I darkened it a little bit like it's wet. Now, you see these stones here, they're a little bit bigger. So, Ryan, get me...
Use that second finest
Okay.
that you talked about.
So, these rocks, these are bigger pieces of gravel that are put in to stop growth around. And the secret to making scenery is layering. Different sizes, different effects, different things going on. So by putting this thicker gravel here, people don't notice at first, but it looks more realistic. You know, I keep saying that over and over, but it's the truth. Now, look at how it looks next to these guys. These guys are a little bit more coarse. Now that's talus broken from these rocks here that have fallen down. Nobody bothers to pick up. Now that is not going to be that one. It's going to be, it's actually going to be the one that's thicker than this that we left outside.
Oh.
But you'll get the idea. I'm going to do this. See, those rocks are a little bit bigger than these, our third biggest gravel. And that's what we left outside, Ryan.
Yeah.
So that's how those are used. And then with a little bit of greenery growing inside, it looks like it's been there for 100 years with weeds and stuff growing through it. So you have the ability to make it look old or make it look new. See the weeds and greenery growing through this area of the gravel? The gravel went down first, and we'll do a video on that too.
Yes.
I'll take this very gravel and we'll fix up the area where the trucks are back over there.
Yes, when we're starting to create that area, we can use this gravel. It's very gravel we sifted.
But there's $5 worth.
Easily. So, to make sure I got it all correct, so you laid all that gravel down first, and then you go over it with that, what was it, glue and water mixture and soap, correct?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. That, and I didn't invent it. That comes from HO Train guys.
Yes.
It's called Hardscape Scenery.
Hardscape scenery.
They actually harden it. If you touch that, of course you guys at home can't feel that, but it feels hard as a rock, right? And so does this stuff right here, because it's got coat after coat of 50% water, 50% Elmer's glue.
Yes.
With a little bit of soap in it to help release it and get it to soak down into it. Otherwise it sits up there like a bubble. Maybe we can find some use here. You see, before this greenery goes down, these rocks can look like rocks that have been there a million years and cracked and come apart. Cool. So the secret is to find a good way, and I spend hours doing this, getting it to look like it's been cracked. Now, before this greenery went down, this was a series of wood terraced down, and I could set these rocks down in it like that, and then I plaster up to them. Now, this is not realistic, but let's say this was down inside the gully. And then with the different size stones, as you can see there, I can fill in, glue them in, and sometimes I use sharpener shavings or sawdust to fill in at first. When that hardens, the next day I go back with the greenery. So these are important.
Yes, don't waste those.
I had made plastered cast molds for a week, and I had about 20 or 30 of them made out of plaster, the way train guys do. Yeah. My father-in-law got sick, and he wanted to go up to Mackinac City, where he used to go as with his wife. And I'd spend 4 or 5 days senior sitting. And I sat on the beach, and I realized the beach at Mackinac, underneath the Mackinac Bridge, has busted rocks like this. And when I looked at them, they looked authentic and like to scale. And I realized that it's the remnants of the dynamiting they did to set the foundation for the Mackinac Bridge. Very cool. And then over the last, 50, 60, 70 years, it got washed ashore. So I would spend my time picking up rocks, and that's where all these came from. If you notice, none of them look stone washed. I mean river washed. River washed round rocks. Yeah, they're all smooth. They don't work so well. Like this one right here, it really doesn't work as well, or this one doesn't work as well as these guys do. Because they're sharp and they lay into each other. Mind you, I just laid this down here for show, because this is not complete. There's going to be a bridge coming across here and bleachers and stands. But these are the rocks that I claimed from the beach at Mackinac. Very nice. This is a good example of what they end up look like laid in properly. Those are all real rocks that came from the beach at Mackinac. I stained them and weathered them, Ryan. I stained them and weathered them so that they look a little bit older than they are. But they're the first things that go down, and I glue them together with liquid nail, and then I go back and I make a foundation underneath it with wood and ceiling tile. I can show you that another time too. Right. But right now we're talking about the rocks and why I went with real rocks.
So, as far as the staining, just as a quick question, is that just wood stain that you're using?
It's a mixture of the 50% water, 50% glue. Yeah. And a touch of paint. Oh. And I keep adding acrylic color till I get it to look like I want. If I put it on and I fail, I just wipe it off. But you know what's good is the darkness settles down into these cracks and makes it look like dirt. See how dark those became? Right. So if I choose rocks that have more cragginess to them, I get a better effect than a round, smooth rock. Very cool. And it worked out so good, Ryan, that I abandoned the idea of plaster casting, and I gave them to a buddy who was building a train track, train layout.
Always go with the real thing, right?
Well, yeah. It was much harder. That sand, this was the final product.
That's right, yeah.
Of what we got after sifting. Right. That's what formed this right here. I took plaster, and I made a comb out of a Formica sample. Right. And I made indentations in it. And while the plaster was wet, I ran across it. The next day when it dried, I covered it with glue, and I put this sand down on top of it right here. That's how I get that look. So it looks to scale like a sand runoff.
Right. We have really enjoyed taking a look at some of this hardscape and some of this landscaping rock that we got out here, and it was fun to sift it too. So real valuable stuff. I mean, just goes to show you, like I've been saying, if you don't want to spend that money at the hobby shop, you can do it yourself. Just need a sieve and a gravel road. So,
And a lot of patience.
And a lot of patience, right? As long as you got some time on your hands, you can totally do it. But yeah, well, thank you all for joining us today. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and we'll see you on the next one. Signing off.